Welcome to Integrity Inspire, your daily dose of inspiration and motivation, featuring the bright and talented members of the Integrity Marketing Group family. Now, here's your host, Integrity co-founder and CEO, Bryan W. Adams.
Well, hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining today's Inspire podcast. We had originally had Andrew Taylor of Family First Life scheduled to join us, but sometimes life can cause us to pivot or force us to even juggle things up, even best laid plans. As I alluded to, Andrew and his wife, Nicole, actually gave birth to a little baby boy late Tuesday night. And we gave Andrew every option. In fact, I've asked him about 7 times if he wanted to reschedule his podcast, understanding that man, this is the most important time for him and Nicole, and we wanted to make sure that he had every option to reschedule, but the dude absolutely refused to take the out. He said, no, I want to do this. I'm excited to join the Integrity Inspire podcast. And if you know Andrew, you know that he takes incredible pride in being a man of his word. And he said, listen, I committed to this. I want to do it. And it's part of what I think has made him so successful in really a short period of time. And we'll talk about even more on this podcast. As part of the Family First Life group of agencies, he's built an incredible business. I mean, shocking business from the ground up, and has just done everything that the team has laid out before him, and the people who have paved that trail have laid out. But he has also taken it to the next level. Not only has he become a renowned expert in the industry who regularly speaks at conventions and other events across the country, now he's ready to lay out some of that wisdom for all of us here at Integrity. And he's been doing it, honestly, pretty much on zero sleep for the past 2 nights. And so, Andrew, my man, thank you so much for joining us. You are going way above the call of duty here, my friend. I am honored and really humbled that you chose to be with us today. And honestly, listen, I'm really humbled that Nicole also allowed you to be with us today. So, Andrew, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you joining us, and congratulations, my friend. We're so excited for you. On behalf of everybody here at Integrity, congratulations.
Thank you, and thank you for having me. Nicole and the baby are doing great. That was our first baby, so it was a awesome experience. I told her I appreciate moms so much more after seeing what they go through to give birth. It was a pretty cool experience. But I did ask her, I said, hey, should I do this podcast? Are you okay if I do? And she's already fallen in love with Integrity, the way the company works. And she was like, absolutely, I'm okay. The baby's okay. You know, I wouldn't want you to miss that and not share with everybody. And every morning I play the podcast at 7 a.m. that you guys do. And she's with me sometimes and she listens to it. And we've learned so much and appreciate everybody that's shared and gotten on. So thank you for doing these.
Oh, man. Thank you for saying that. Nicole, thank you so much for being such a wonderful wife and mother. And congratulations on your first baby, man. That is such an exciting time. Listen, if you appreciate mothers now for what they go through, just wait for the years to come, because what mothers do and the way that they care for kids is man, it's incredibly special, and it's I mean, it is really powerful to watch, and so I can't wait to see you and Nicole and your family grow and everything from here. Now, I mean, you're doing this, I guess, from the hospital, right? I mean, you guys are still in the hospital right now, right?
We just got back.
Oh, okay, good. Well, good deal.
Yeah.
Well, this is having a baby is a big deal. Having a baby during COVID was there any different precautions or anything? What was that like, man?
Actually, yeah, it was interesting. So the staff was low, and there was only a certain amount of people. They scheduled everything, so they scheduled us to go in. Yeah. No one was allowed to go except for me. And then there was only a few nurses on working. So the nurses were actually bossing me around during the while she was in labor to help them out as everything was going on. And it was crazy, but it was cool. It was an awesome experience.
Wow. That is there'll be some stories to tell him down the road. Now, we share his name if you don't mind. I mean, there's so much power, I think, in a name, and naming a baby, man, is such an exciting, important thing to do, but it's also really tough. So what's his name? Tell us more about that.
So we named him Atlas Cole Taylor. We came up with the name Atlas because I had attempted to read a book called Atlas Shrugged. Have you ever heard of that book?
No, I haven't.
It's like 2,000 pages. I did not finish it.
At least you're honest about it.
Yeah, I didn't finish it. So I tried to Google what it was about. I still didn't really understand, but what I got from what it was supposed to be about from going through Cliff Notes and trying to figure it out was that it was basically the idea that the Greek Titan Atlas. Have you seen that statue of him holding the world up on his shoulders and he's like falling over,
absolutely.
kind of?
Absolutely.
It was saying that if you try to put the world on anybody's shoulders, they'll eventually fall over. Like they'll fall over. That's why he's like shrugging down. And when I thought about that, I was thinking about the way I did things that point in time. And I realized I needed a team to do everything, and everybody needs to win. It can't just be me trying to do everything, or I won't be able to get enough done. If I do, I'll eventually fall over, you know? And I loved that concept. And we were looking for an A name, and we had come up with that. And when we kind of thought about what it reminded us of, we loved it. And then what's funny is when I had met you guys and you had told me how the company was run, which is so different, like the way Integrity's ran. And you had explained to me how everybody works together and everybody helps each other. And that's how we can get that's how Integrity can get bigger. It was almost like, okay, if I did this by myself, I could only get so big in insurance. And then if I did it with Integrity and all these other awesome partners in businesses, then really the sky's the limit. And it was that same thing when I had started to learn how Integrity ran, which actually kind of cemented the name for us.
Wow. What an amazing name. Talk about a powerful name with so much meaning. That is, thank you for sharing that with us. And then Cole, your wife's name's Nicole. Is that because of Nicole, or where'd that come from?
That's because of Nicole, yeah. So we just wanted to give him a middle name, yeah, after his mom.
That is, man, listen, that is so sweet. That's amazing. Hey, thanks. I know you sent me over a picture of Atlas after he was born. Would you mind, and it's okay if you say no, but because I'm putting you on the spot right now, but would you mind if we sent out a picture to the Integrity family of little Atlas Cole and just kind of shared the good news? We're all one big happy family here at Integrity, and I know others like myself would love to see a picture if you wouldn't mind, but I understand if you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
we would love to do that.
Well, awesome, man. Well, we're going to send out a picture to everybody after this call, just to share another new family member here at Integrity. And Kendall, I'm going to talk to Kendall. We're going to see if we can't find some Integrity gear and swag for little Atlas as well. That would be a lot of fun,
awesome
too. that would be fun for sure. Well, man, listen, I love how just how everything that you guys have been doing at Family First, and how we've all come together, and honestly how we've come together just as a family here at Integrity, and just the opportunity for all of us get to know each other better, slow down, and share moments in each other's lives, like you're sharing right now. I think integrity strong is kind of this catchphrase that at some point, some people, start talking about, or I see that being tagged on social media and things of that nature. But I think it's really true that this is kind of a family motto of us kind of being strong during this time period, to come together and rally together. And you've been part of the Integrity family for a few months now. Man, what's it been like for you and your team? And I love the fact that you just talked about Atlas. Like, none of us, we can only go so far if we're doing this individually. But if you do it, if we all come together, there's no telling where we can go, right? So how's it been for you and your team joining the Integrity family?
It's been awesome. So, a few things that are interesting in the first 2 months. So we were growing before we joined Integrity, like, rapidly every month. And then 2 months ago, we had the COVID-19 maybe potentially slow people down, but we had got together and we said, hey, we're going to actually use this as a reason to speed up. And so what we did is, and that with having everybody being so excited about being part of Integrity now and all the opportunities there are for everybody we work with, we broke our biggest monthly issue paid sales record in March. So our first month with Integrity, we broke our biggest monthly issue paid sales with 3.3 million of paid business that month during the whole COVID thing, which was like, okay, that's cool. But then April, we broke that record, which was our all-time record, at over 3.5 million in issue paid sales. So to say, I mean, people are so excited about what this means for them. And I think the numbers kind of show that even during something that could potentially slow somebody down, because of the excitement, we all said, okay, we're going to speed up. And honestly, a lot of agents have said they're doing this because we are a part of Integrity now, and they want to show how good we are. They're like, we want to show everybody that, we'll outwork anybody. And it's been crazy. And then the other thing is our like the things that you guys have been able to do for our employees. I don't think we would have ever been able to do that. Actually, I know we would have never been able to do that. So they're in a better situation. They're in a better position. And then we've been able to leverage other Integrity companies for information and help and leads and all these other things that have also helped us. And so the experience in the first 2 months has just been, it's been out of control. Good.
Wow.
So
that is remarkable, man. So you guys have already beat March, and April's not even over yet. Like, I mean, we're still going, and you guys are already having another record month. And that, I mean, what you guys and Sean Mike and Mike Killamet and just the leadership that you guys have there at Family First, you guys have just some of the most amazing leaders that said, we're not going to stop. And you realize how essential we are and how much you're as a business and as a role in society, and how much people need these products that we offer. And man, that is so amazing to hear that your team and those numbers you were talking about is just your
team. That's just our team, and everybody's team. I've seen the same thing. And one other thing, we've been telling people, this is a great opportunity for someone that doesn't want to work to make an excuse to not work.
Yeah.
And then it's a great opportunity for someone that wants to get ahead to get ahead.
Yeah, I mean, before you have to convince people that they need insurance. Now they're going, yeah, I understand it. I need to get coverage, and taking advantage of serving people right now is such an incredibly important part. Man, we could not be more thrilled that you chose to join the Integrity platform. I mean, listen, you've put yourself, I know a little bit about your story. And your story is such an amazing, just encouraging story. But I know you put yourself in a position at a really early age to succeed. Can you tell us a little bit about your background? Because some of our partners and team members may not know Andrew Taylor as well as they will in the future because of all that you're doing and will continue to do. But just tell us a little bit about your background, how you grew up, and kind of when you how you grew up.
Yeah, you got it. So it's funny. I always say my insurance career started early because when I was a kid, my dad had died, and my mom had I had three siblings, and she had no job, and he had no life insurance. And she had taken great care of us. She got 2 jobs, took care of us. We had an awesome childhood. Everything was great. But I had remembered shortly after, a life insurance agent had come over, and I was like, hey, Mom, what are you doing? Who's that guy? And she's like, well, I'm getting insurance in case something happened to me. I want to make sure that you guys are all taken care of. And so I tell a lot of people, when I first got into the industry, I was just thinking about money. And at the time, I was bagging groceries at the local grocery store. And it was really hard for me to make sales because it was all about me. It was even hard for me to book appointments because it was all about me. And it was almost like people could smell it, even over the phone. And then there was a point in time where I started thinking about every customer like it was my own family, not about money at all. So if I sat down with somebody, I go, hey, look, this is what happened to us, and this is what we're going to avoid, and I'm going to treat you like you're my mom or, my sister or brother or whatever it is. And it helped me make a lot more sales, but help a lot more people. And then I always tell people, at that point, I wasn't in sales anymore. So yeah, that was when I say my career started. And I love that you had your parents on one of the podcasts. That was awesome. And you said you're a mama's boy. Like, I'm a big time mama's boy.
I am a mama's boy, man.
So a big part of my motivation though was always to go, okay, if I want to make sure that my mom never has to worry about money, and I want to do it in a way where I'm helping people. And I want to make sure when I have a family, which I do now, they don't have to worry about money and we're still helping people. And then it got even better because now I'm able to have those two things, but I'm also able to work with a lot of people that are good influences on me, which I think has a value, aside from money, you can't actually calculate.
Man, there's so much depth to what all the things you just said. So coming back to your dad, so how old were you when your dad passed away?
I was 10 years old.
Oh my gosh, man, that had to have such an impact. I just can't imagine what you guys as a family went through, but it's so interesting hearing that story about the insurance agent coming to your house and how different life might have been, may not have been, if your dad would have had insurance. But the fact that your mom had the foresight to say, I need to make sure we get insurance so that we're taken care of. Man, that and then what you did with that to go into your career is impactful. I love the other point that you made there. The fact that when we do something for ourselves, and I just believe this to my core, if we do something just for ourselves, it never really goes that far. But when we're doing things for others, there's no limit to where we can go. And the fact that you just said that people could smell it on you, right? Because I mean, people can sense the, when we're self-centered. But when you're not in sales, I loved how you said when you decided you weren't in sales anymore, you were in service, you were helping people, and then your business just, skyrocketed. There's been two common threads that I've seen in all these podcasts is people who are incredibly hardworking, that are willing to do what other people won't. And it is very humble people, the very humble and hardworking partners that have shared on these podcasts that honestly none of us came from anything really to speak of. And we've all accomplished, a lot so far, and we're just getting started. I just feel like that. I feel like we owe all the people who helped shape us a huge debt of gratitude, whether they're our parents, teachers, mentors, friends, former bosses or leaders, coaches. Nobody succeeds on their own. And that's like, I love the fact that you even named your son Atlas, because we all have to have a team. Nobody can do this on our own. Now, I understand that you got into the insurance business, and I've heard that story from you were working at a grocery store, and you just mentioned this. And honestly, when I first heard it, I was like, yes, they were telling me about this Andrew Taylor, this guy who's one of the biggest up-and-comers in our industry, setting all sorts of records all over the country. And people were telling me, like, this is the next big leader in our business. And they're telling me that you used to sack groceries. And honestly, I was like, yeah, I don't believe it. Honestly, it sounded like a movie, but apparently it's true. Would you mind sharing some of that part of your story with us?
Yeah, you got it. And sometimes I got to slap myself and make sure it's true myself, by the way, but it is. But what I was basically, I was bagging groceries at the grocery store when I was 16 until I was 18 when I got my insurance license. And some interesting things about that, I was studying to get a promotion at the grocery store, which means I had to study all the different codes, like the different codes to type in so I could get a raise and become a checker. And it would be like, if you had an avocado, I would have to know what code it was so I could put it in and know, and then it would charge you appropriately, or a tomato or a cucumber or whatever. And there's a lot of different produce things. So I was studying to get promoted there. And I had always wanted to figure out, actually not how to make money to buy stuff, but I had always wanted to figure out how to have more time and control my own schedule. And a friend of mine he goes, hey, you should try insurance. I'm studying to get my license right now. It's so easy. He showed me a picture of the car he was going to buy when his license went through and he made his first few sales. It was like a really cool car. And so I said, okay, I'll get my license as well. And he ended up lasting a few weeks in the industry, but that was my introduction. And then when this is kind of funny too. When I first got my license, there were not a lot of leads close by. So I had to travel all over the place to run appointments. And there was a place where there was a lot of leads available. And it was Compton and Inglewood, California. And I had told you I'm really close with my mom. So she would go, hey, what are you up to? So after I would be done bagging groceries, I would go run appointments. And I would tell her, she'd go, where are you going to run appointments? And I would never tell her Compton or Inglewood because I didn't want her to be freaked out. I would always go, it's right near Beverly Hills. And then I go run my appointments. And I went out, when I would go there, I helped a ton of families. And what I realized is you could go anywhere in the entire country and everybody needs insurance. Yeah. But the thing that I found out was if I made one nice sale a month, it would pay my entire paycheck for the whole month at the grocery store. So I decided to quit the grocery store. A lot of people told me, don't quit because you're going to lose your benefits. You're getting into a scam. Insurance is a pyramid scheme, all this other stuff. And I always think, like, what if I actually listened? How crazy would my life have changed? But I started in the insurance industry, and then I had run appointments every week. I was making a good living. 6 years ago, I started working with Sean Mike, and then he I would say he believed I could do more than I thought I could do until I started believing I could do it. And I remember I want to share this with you because this was super helpful for me. I had gone through this phase where I would complain about stuff. Like if I got no-showed or if a customer canceled or whatever it was. And I had this customer who had canceled and they had given me a really big chargeback that I was upset about. And I had told Sean, I was like, yeah, I'm really upset. Like this really went wrong. This is what happened. And he goes, okay, so you have a problem? And I go, yeah. And he goes, are you currently dying of cancer? And I go, no. And he goes, okay, so you're in the United States of America. You're in your house with your air conditioning on. You're complaining while you have tons of other customers you can call and go help. And you're feeling sorry for yourself and you think this is a problem. And then he goes, have some respect for yourself.
Wow.
And then after that day, every time I would think that there was a problem, I would start going, you know what? It could be way worse than this. And I can't control what happened. So I'm only going to control the things I can work on and forget about that and move forward.
Listen, Sean Mike is one of my favorite people in the world. He will speak truth and love to you like no one else. And that point of just going, man, have some respect for yourself and get up and go work. I think I work harder because of all my partners, because I don't want to let any of them down, man. Like these are people I admire, and I think about Sean and a bunch of other guys. I'm like, I don't want to let anybody down, and I want to have respect for them, but also for myself and my family. But that is such great advice for anybody out in anything, right? I mean, we're born in America. We've got so much opportunity. Hopefully you got good health and respect yourself and go to work. That's that is just great advice. And I can see Sean saying it right now. From literally, you went from bagging groceries, like sacking groceries, to becoming one of the brightest young minds in the insurance business today. It blows my mind, man. You're only 30 years old, and what you've created, and your business that you've created with others' help. Like, I mean, let's be honest, with Sean's help and others' help. The business that you've created, though, and the path that you've laid for your family, and what Atlas has ahead of him, and what your family has ahead of them, I think you made the right move to not listen to all those people who were telling you, what are you doing? Why are you getting into insurance? There's always going to be naysayers, right? And there's always people who are wanting to sit at home, play video games, or do whatever else. But you said, no, man, I'm going to go out and actually work. And I'm going to follow a system. I'm going to do this. Even if I got to go to Compton, like, there's not a lot of people that want to go to Compton and sell. I mean, you were even having to lie to your mom about it. Man, you've honestly achieved more in business than a lot of people do in a lifetime. I mean, what you guys are building and the quality of business that you guys are building is, golly, man, it's inspiring to me. What inspires you so much about the insurance business and this industry that we're in?
The thing that inspires me is that this is the place anybody can go, and they don't have to have some special background or ability. They just have to work really hard, and they can get results that they can make it big. Any average and ordinary person can make it big. I don't know where else you can do that.
That is so true, man. And thank God for that. Again, we're born in America during this time in history, and that's one of the things. No offense to me or any of our other partners, we are all just average guys and gals that have with hard work and humility have done incredibly well, and we're just I think we're just getting started, and it's an honor to have a chance to visit with you, especially right after your baby was born. Thank you so much for being willing to do that, man. I really appreciate it, and again, congratulations, my man.
You got it. Thanks for having me.
It's been our pleasure. So, listen, I am so excited about tomorrow's call. I've invited someone to join us who is a special guest on the Inspired Podcast. We've been spending time learning from the leaders here at Integrity, and I invited somebody who really opened my eyes about the impact that life insurance and our industry can have for others. I've invited Joe Jordan, who is one of the industry's icons. Many of you have seen Living a Life of Significance, his best-selling book. Many of you have seen him speak at different conferences. And I asked my buddy Joe if he would be willing to come on and share some thoughts about the industry, kind of what he's seeing right now. He has been locked up in his apartment in Manhattan for this entire crisis, and so he was excited to jump on, and will be on with us tomorrow. And I am so excited to have Joe come on and just share with all of us a little bit of his thoughts and ideas as well. So excited about that call. Thank you all for sticking around a little longer today. This was an incredible call. Andrew, love you, man. Congratulations. We're going to send you an Integrity little swag bag or something with onesie or something with for a little Atlas. And man, we're excited to have him as part of our family too. Hope you guys all have a wonderful day. Look forward to talking to you guys tomorrow.